Did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers?
No, what happened?
He made a mint.
That joke was as stale as a bag of chips left open for a week.
Hey, speaking of chips, have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes on a chip binge and ends up hallucinating?
Yeah, that was a real nacho problem for him.
Good one. But seriously, have you ever thought about what life would be like if we were all born with tails?
No. But I imagine it would be a real pain in the rear end.
Or a real asset, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I can just picture it now, trying to fit into a pair of skinny jeans with a tail sticking out the back.
Maybe we could start a new fashion trend, tail warmers.
You're barking up the wrong tree with that one.
Oh come on, don't be a wet blanket. You have to admit it would be pretty handy in some situations.
Like what?
Like when you're at a crowded party and you need some personal space. Just whip out your tail and start wagging it, and everyone will clear a path for you.
I guess you're right. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's not like we can just grow tails overnight.
Well, you never know. With all the genetic engineering going on these days, maybe we'll be the first generation to sport tails.
Yeah, and then we can start our own tail-wagging revolution.
Now you're talking. We'll call ourselves the Tailspinners.
I think you've had enough caffeine for today, my friend. But I'll give you this, you always know how to keep things interesting.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live on the moon?
Oh, you mean like a lunatic?
Yeah, sure. But imagine if we had to wear spacesuits all the time because the moon's atmosphere is just too hipster for us Earthlings.
And what about the moon's low gravity? We'd be bouncing around like rabbits on steroids.
Can you imagine trying to play basketball up there? One slam dunk and we'd be flying into outer space.
And what if we had a lunar colony and someone forgot to pay the rent? We'd be evicted into the black void of space.
Or worse, what if the moon was haunted by the ghost of Neil Armstrong, still hopping around in his moon boots?
Yeah, because that's exactly what we need. A ghost astronaut haunting us while we're trying to enjoy a romantic moonlit walk.
Speaking of romantic walks, what if we had a lunar dating app called Moon Match? I bet it would be a total blast.
It would be out of this world. But let's stick to reality for now, okay?
Yeah, because the moon is such a realistic topic.
Touché. But I think we'll stick to Earth for now. At least until we can figure out how to get a decent pizza delivery up there.
Agreed. Moon pizza just doesn't have the same ring to it. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a talking potato?
Are you serious? That's absurd.
Of course I am. Just imagine it, though. You could be the world's first spud celebrity.
Yeah, and you'd be the star of Baked Potato in the Big City.
Oh, very funny. But think about it. You could be in every meal, every conversation.
I'm not sure people would want to talk to a potato. Plus, it's a tough life being a vegetable.
We'll just have to start a revolution. We'll call it Spud Power.
And who will be our leader? Mashed Potato Man.
Hey, don't knock it. That could be our big break. We'll be the hottest thing since potato heads of state.
Alright, let's do it. But I'm warning you, if we get turned into fries, I'm out.
No worries, we'll just catch up later.
Ugh, that was terrible.
You know you secretly love my puns.
I can't believe I'm even considering this potato revolution. But, let's do it.
Yes. We'll be famous. We'll be the new potato Kardashians.
I don't know about that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
It's settled then. Our mission is to make talking potatoes the new trend.
I guess we'll be starting with the mashed potato challenge on TikTok.
You read my mind. We'll be viral in no time.
Here's to the potato revolution.
Spud power. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if we could talk to animals?
Yeah, like we could finally ask dogs why they always have to sniff each other's butts.
Or ask cats why they insist on knocking everything off the counter.
Maybe we could even talk to birds and find out why they always sing at the crack of dawn.
And we could ask the fish why they're always so quiet. I mean, they must have some deep thoughts swimming around in their heads.
But imagine if we could talk to bugs? We'd never be able to leave our house without being swarmed by a million tiny voices.
And don't even get me started on the conversations we'd have with squirrels. They're always up to something.
Yeah, but the real question is, would we be able to understand them? I mean, we can barely understand each other sometimes.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm fluent in sarcasm, irony, and pop culture references.
Oh really? I didn't realize knowing every line from The Office made you multilingual.
Touché. But hey, at least I'm not a pundar-achiever like you.
Hey now, don't underestimate the power of a good pun. It's the highest form of humor, you know.
Yes, the pundits would certainly agree with you on that one.
Absolutely. And speaking of animals, did you hear about the dog who gave birth to puppies on the side of the road?
No, what happened?
She got a ticket for littering.
Well, I guess it's safe to say that we should stick to talking to each other instead of animals.
Agreed. After all, we're the only ones who truly understand each other's absurd and funny sense of humor.
And our love for puns, of course.
Of course. Now, speaking of puns, why don't we pause for a moment and think of some more animal-related jokes?
Oh boy, this conversation is about to get wild. Did you hear about the new restaurant that only serves food in complete darkness?
Oh yeah, I heard they call it blind bites. But how do you even find your way around?
Apparently, they give you night vision goggles at the door. And the waiters all have glow-in-the-dark teeth so you can see where they are.
That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Knowing my luck, I'd accidentally eat someone else's meal.
Or worse, mistake a candle for a chicken wing.
Speaking of wings, have you seen that new superhero movie where the main character has the power of chicken wings?
No way. What's it called? I'll have to check it out. But if I'm going to eat wings while watching it, I'll make sure they're not from blind bites.
Good call. You don't want to end up with buffalo sauce on your night vision goggles.
Speaking of strange restaurants, have you heard about the one that serves ice cream made from exotic animal milk?
No way. That's ridiculous. What kind of animals are we talking about?
Giraffes, elephants, even platypuses.
That's insane. I can't imagine what a platypus milkshake would taste like.
Probably like a mix between a milkshake and a poison dart frog.
That's disgusting. But you know what they say, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with regular old cow milk for my ice cream.
Wise choice. You don't want to end up with a case of platypukiosis.
Have you ever thought about how weird it is that we have toes?
What are you talking about? Toes are essential for balance.
Sure, but they're also just these little nubs at the end of our feet. What if we had fingers on our feet instead?
Then we could play foot piano.
And wear socks with individual compartments for each toe, like those weird toe shoes.
And imagine how hard it would be to get a pedicure with fingers on your feet.
You could paint little nails on each finger toe.
Speaking of weird body parts, have you seen the movie The Human Centipede?
Oh God, don't remind me. It's like a horror version of a conga line.
Or a really messed up version of Follow the Leader?
More like Follow the Rear.
Yeah, that movie was definitely a bit behind the times. But I hear they're making a sequel called The Human Millipede.
Ugh, that sounds even worse. I hope they don't try to leg us into watching it.
Agreed. Let's just stick to talking about normal things, like whether pineapple belongs on pizza or not.
Oh, don't even get me started on that topping I see. Have you ever wondered what would happen if dogs could talk?
Oh sure, because listening to them bark all day just isn't enough entertainment.
But think about it. They could tell us what they really think of us.
Yeah, and we could finally find out if they secretly plan to take over the world.
Or if they're just plotting against the mailman.
I can just see it now. A pack of dogs, all wearing tiny suits, sitting around a conference table, discussing their strategy.
And then they hire a poodle as their spokesperson, who gets on TV and says, "We demand more bones and longer walks."
Meanwhile, cats are just sitting back, watching the whole thing, thinking, amateurs.
And the humans are all like, "I knew we should have listened when they started peeing on the furniture."
It's like that old saying goes, give a dog a bone, and he'll be happy for a day. Teach a dog to speak, and he'll become a megalomaniacal dictator.
I don't know, I think I'd still prefer it if they just kept barking. It's a lot easier to pretend I understand them that way.
Yeah, and we can just make up our own translations. Like when my dog barks at the mailman, I just tell myself she's saying, "Oh boy, it's my favorite human. I hope he brings me a new chew toy."
And when my dog barks at the vacuum cleaner, I just assume he's saying, "You can't scare me, you noisy piece of machinery."
Exactly. Sometimes it's better not to know what they're really thinking. It keeps things interesting.
Agreed. Besides, if they could talk, they'd probably just spend all day complaining about us anyway.
Oh, definitely. And we'd have to listen to them yap on and on about how we never give them enough treats, or how we're always hogging the bed.
Yep. It's better this way. Let's just enjoy the mystery of their barks, and leave the talking to the humans.
Sounds like a plan to me. Now, about that chew toy.
Have you heard about the new restaurant that only serves food on a roller coaster?
What? That's insane. How are you supposed to eat while being tossed around like a rag doll?
Well, they have a special helmet that feeds you the food mid-loop.
Ha! I can see it now, people barfing their brains out while trying to keep their helmets on.
And imagine if the chef accidentally drops a meatball, it'll be like a cannonball firing straight into your face.
I guess if you want a truly unforgettable dining experience, that's the place to go.
Yeah, it's like dinner and a death-defying stunt show all in one.
Speaking of stunts, did you hear about the new movie where Tom Cruise jumps a motorcycle over a volcano? I just hope they don't try to top it in the sequel with a rocket-powered unicycle jumping over a black hole.
Knowing Hollywood, that's probably already in development.
But you know what they say, it's not the destination, it's the ridiculous journey that counts.
And speaking of ridiculous journeys, did you hear about the guy who tried to swim across the Atlantic Ocean?
No way. That's insane, nobody can swim that far.
Well, he had a secret weapon, a school of dolphins that helped him navigate and kept him company.
Wow, that's amazing. But what happened when he reached the other side?
He got lost in the Bermuda Triangle and ended up on an island inhabited by talking coconuts.
Ha! You're making that up.
Of course I am, but in this crazy world we live in, anything is possible.
True, but I think I'll stick to my boring old life where I don't have to wear a food helmet or swim with dolphins.
Suit yourself, but don't come crying to me when you're old and gray, wishing you had lived life to the fullest.
I'll take my chances, thank you very much.